Finally, a good study series scale High-Octane Bumblebee. After the major disappointment of Study Series 79 High-Octane Bumblebee, which was essentially just a repackaging version of the Extinction Deluxe Class High-Octane Bumblebee, this new KO High-Octane Bumblebee is essentially just a repainted version of the Dark of the Moon Study Series number 87 Bumblebee, with a brand new black and yellow paint scheme from the High-Octane design. Due to the nature of the design, of course this version is not 100% accurate to the CGI model of the High-Octane Bumblebee from Extinction at all. But currently this is still the best version on the market to represent a High-Octane Bumblebee in the Study Series scale. Until Hasbro and Takara can actually make an official version of the new High-Octane Bumblebee figures, this might still stay at the best Study Series scale High-Octane Bumblebee for years to come. And here is our KO High-Octane Bumblebee inside its packaging. Let's take him out of the box and see how it looks inside along with all of his accessories. So firstly, we have the instruction over here. So the instruction is for BraveWasp 8803, which is the original KO version that they have. Which is basically just a straight KO version of the Study Series number 87, Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. And you can see that they also have other products out here as well. They have the KO Study Series 05 in two different color scheme of Nemesis Brown. And here's the back side of the figure. So similar transformation sequence to the original Study Series number 87. And as we take a look at the box, so inside the box, here's what we have. So of course we have the main figures over here, and then we have two swords, just imaginary swords. So those ones are not accurate to any of the movie. It has the dagger from the Study Series number 18 over here, not accurate to the Dark on the Moon version. And we have a hammer that Bumblebee was supposed to use in the last 9 movie. This hammer is not accurate from what I can tell. More accurate hammers will be this hammer over here, which actually came with one of the KO MPM Bumblebee. And then of course we do have the blaster that Bumblebee usually have. Seems like we have an alternative head as well. Let's open the box and see what we do have inside. And here's our main figures along with all of the accessories that he's come with. So we do have the two swords that I mentioned before, Study Series number 18 daggers that we have, but of course in a different color, so that this can match with the yellow and black colors that these figures have. And here is the hammer that I mentioned before. They look quite different, but actually it doesn't look bad at all. And they even have like the shape of the outer body insignia over there. Of course there's no real insignia in red on there because it's a KO figures. We do have the blaster here, so the blaster look very similar. It's basically just the same blaster that we have seen for all of the Bumblebee from Study Series number 49 to 74 to 87. And then we have an alternative head, basically just the head that we get from Study Series number 18. Of course, it's not accurate to the Dark of the Moon version or any of the BraveWasp movie at all. But unlike the Study Series 18 head, we cannot remove the mask. It actually stuck onto this whole head, so you have to change the whole head instead of changing the mask like the Study Series 18. You can see that this head is quite smaller in comparison to the BraveWasp head. The default head here looks way better and way more accurate in comparison to that alternative head. As for all of the weapons, of course Bumblebee can hold his blaster just regularly. It's like all of the other blaster that the figures have. For the swords, unlike the Study Series number 18, we actually have a bone tab over here instead of just a regular smaller tab that can be plugged directly onto the hand of the figures like this. It's quite loose. Let's see, I'm trying to fit it in here to see whether it actually tap onto the figures. This seems like a circular part that can go in. Well, actually this doesn't go in, so it's not really good. It can only be held down here, which doesn't look natural at all. Then as we go to the axe over here, the middle part will be too loose for this to hold anything. And then the upper part is a little loose as well. Not really good hammer at all. Look at this. Everything is so loose. It can't hold out here either. Look at this. If I put these hammers on, this will be able to hold this weapon very naturally, see? But for this, the handle is just way too small, too skinny, and it doesn't fit into this arm or any of the arm of the figures. That's just unfortunate. You flip it like this, it can kind of hold it. So in order for it to hold the axe, you have to leave it vertically like this, which is not the best design. And then we do have the sword. The sword can go on like that. Quite loose, again, quite loose. And if we change out the head of the figures, can just take it out like that and then just plug this on. It will look like this on the figures. Regarding our main figures, here is how it's look like. It's look really good. Look at all of these details. I really like the chest design over here from the Dark of the Moon version. So for this version, it's supposed to be the High-Octane Bumblebee. I think it doesn't look out of place at all. But of course, because the vehicle mode is entirely wrong for this figure, so you can see that the chest plates, this vehicle mode is basically just the same vehicle as the Dark of the Moon 87. So it's not accurate to the High-Octane vehicle at all. So in the box, the figures, the arm guard actually collapsed down, so I can pop it out like that. And then same thing to this side as well. So that's look a little more movie accurate in robot mode. Regarding the paint color scheme on the details, so firstly on the head, I noticed that the yellow colors that we have on here are actually not the bare plastic yellow that this figure originally had. And all of the other yellow part on the body actually are painted as well, so that the colors can match together. That's quite interesting to see, because for all of the Hasbro and Takara figures, most of them only have the bare plastic colors for Bumblebee. All of those black as well, they actually painted on. And as we go down here, we do have more black colors and more yellow painted on colors on the arm, and we do have some silver on those arm as well. And then when we go down here to the lower part of the arm, they actually just have bare gray plastic color. All of the part of the figures have these gray plastic colors right here, so kind of dark gray, not really light gray plastic. And as we go down here, you can see that all of those chest area and crotch area, they just have the bare gray plastic colors going throughout. Doesn't look too out of place. It will come in pretty handy when we actually custom paint these figures to make him look nicer. As we go down here, you can see that same gray plastic going down here. We do have transparent plastic at the same place that the original one have for the vehicle mode. And then everything else on the other colors, the black and yellow, they all painted on. And they painted on the tail light as well with red colors. And as we go down to the feet, most of the feet are not painted, but there are some that look like painted, like this part over here. It seems like it got painted with a little of metallic colors. That's quite interesting. So because this is a Dark of the Moon design, so we actually have this tail part on the vehicle actually removable as well. So if you really want it to stay on here, maybe just use a little glue to stick it on there. And here's the back of the figure, which looks pretty nice. Let's go over Bumblebee articulation. So for the head, it can turn on the way to that side and on the way this side, and it can look up quite a lot as well due to the head design. Look up like that, and then it can look down a little until it changes after it reaches the chest region. As we go to the arm side, the arm can go up around that far thanks to this hinge over here. And then we have a bone joint right here, which allows for this whole arm to be rotatable. And of course, if we angle out the wing, we can actually angle the arm even further and potentially go on the route 360 with it. When we go down here, we have this bone joint hinge over here, which allows for more than 90 degrees of bend. And then that of course can serve as a swivel as well to swivel 360. As we go to the wrist region, the wrist doesn't have any articulation. For the other arm, we have the same exact articulation as this arm as well. The chest region actually have the waist swivel right here, which is really good for the less class figures. And then for the leg, it can do a full split like this. And because we have a bone joint right here, so of course it can kick up around that far, like really far. And if we use select all the angle, it can, of course can rotate 360 as well. And as we go to this knee region over here, we have a little more than 90 degrees of knee bend. And as we go down here, we actually have a really good ankle tail. Look at that ankle tail. Let's go in really further. Let's look fairly natural as well. Same thing to the back side of the figure. So the wings can have articulation. Of course, this can move up and down. And then this wing can flap in and out. And then we have the smaller wings down here as well. Same for the wing articulation over here. Pretty decent. Exactly the same articulation as the original 3349, 74, and 87 Bumblebee. And here's how this KO High-Octane Bumblebee scale with the official study series number 49 Bumblebee. They are essentially at the same scale. And here's how this High-Octane Bumblebee scale with the study series number 92 Crosshairs, which is the last 9 version of Crosshairs. Next, we have this High-Octane version of Bumblebee standing next to the study series number 45 Rift from Extinction. And here's how this High-Octane Bumblebee looks standing next to the Premier Edition house from the last 9 movie. Since the official study series 9 brand hasn't come out yet, we have study series number 32 standing next to this Bumblebee. And here is how this High-Octane Bumblebee scale with the Extinction Evasion Mode Voyager Class Optimus Prime. And here's how this bee is standing next to the study series number 02 Stingers, one of the only characters that Bumblebee interact with in this mode. And here's how this High-Octane Bumblebee scale with the study series number 11 Lockdown. And here's how this bee is standing next to the study series number 90 Galvatron. Then we have this High-Octane Bumblebee standing next to the KO Oversized version of the Dinobot strap, the only Dinobot that Bumblebee interact with and battle with in Age of Extinction. And here's how this High-Octane Bumblebee standing next to both of the study series figures and official mainline figures from the Age of Extinction and the Last Night movie. And here's how this bee is standing next to some of the villains from the Extinction and the Last Night movies. Lastly, we have this High-Octane Bumblebee standing next to both of the figures from Extinction and the Last Night movie, most of which character looks really nice together.